don't be weak beyond normal. This is the first stage of abuse. There are some of you, and actually, he pays my school fees, he gives me food, he slaps you, then you neutralize it with the food he gives you. Do you know what is happening? You are being driven by your desire for food, and then eventually you are being led captive to an abuser. So he's abusing you, but you are silly enough, you are still around the person because a certain lust is driving you. Many of us in all kinds of abusive relationships and marriage are there for one reason. There is always a lustful thing that is drawing us. People know how to hold others captives. Please watch this and watch it well. Before you choose somebody that I want to marry this person, be careful, sit down and then ask yourself, what is the bait that is keeping me in this relationship? This person insults you publicly anyhow. This person can just push you, attack you, fight you, slap you, do anything to you, and yet something is keeping you. You are being led captive because of your silliness and your lust-driven character. And there are many of you who define abuse, yes, mistreatment, ill treatment, but then you tell yourself, I'll manage it somehow. Yes, you can manage it for a time, but I tell you, nobody can fully manage abuse to the end. You break down. And don't tell me that you found out in marriage. Every abuser gives tips of who he or she is right from relationship. But our lust-driven character. There are some of you who follow an abuser into marriage because the person can really give you good sex. So during the relationship, because of a certain good sex, you have forgotten about the fact that the person goes to smoke and come and beat you, and after beating you he sleeps with you, and then you are fine. You cover it up. I won't let my family know, I won't let my pastor know, I won't let anybody know. You are number one, silly. Number two, you are lust driven. Lust is not only the sex, money. There are some of you, it's just some gifts. After abusing you, then he buys you flowers. Case settled. Case settled. Don't do that again. No, last time you did it, don't do that again. The next time you do it, I'll leave you. And the next time it repeats again and again and again. Because listen, people, every human being has the tendency to abuse. Get this from my mouth. From the pastor to the drunkard to the smoker to the cocaine addict, everybody has the tendency to abuse depending on who they are dealing with. That is why you have to position yourself well so that that tendency does not show up in whoever you are working with. Any man is slappable. Any man at all is slappable, and every woman has the skill to slap. Don't tell me, as for me, I'm a woman, I don't know how to slap. You a liar. You can meet a weak man that you start slapping the man everywhere. That is when you know you have the tendency to slap. It's there. It's inside of us. They will tell you that every human being has an animal aspect inside. Okay, and there are things that provokes that animalistic aspect, and one of the things is too much weakness on the other part. If a man realizes that when he slaps you, you go free, he slaps first, slaps second, slaps third, sir, slapping you will become entertainment at home. God expects us to be submissive. God expects us to be humble. God expects us to be that. But then there is a limit. You must also prove strength at times. Do you know that the men, let me tell you something. Do you know that women don't like weak men? You turn a woman into an abusive woman if you become too weak. There are some of you, you know, I love you. I'm a man, but if I see you, I become a woman. When you talk, I can't handle it. When I see you, I am weak. You are provoking the woman you don't know. Over time, she will start reacting. She looks at your face and he sees a fool. The Bible describes women as weak vessels. No weak vessel will entertain another weak vessel. They want security. If they realize that you too, you are another weak vessel, over time. Listen, every woman has that tendency. It's inside there. They naturally submit to a man who knows world. The only time she will submit to you is when she knows that you are higher than her in everything. At least Spiritually, you are up. Financially, you are up. Intellectually, you are up. Or the news, beba na wo news nedana. That's the only way you can calm a woman down. Oh, the obekabia. E just say me dey me wo homa. Me kwa abonje na me ye be ma o me be fia wonti. Me be fia wonti me ye the obeye bia. You are provoking her. Even if she sends you a message that I love you, the way you do anything for me, the way you do it, something is rising up. The next time that you are talking and she'll best boss you. You may not have a job, but there is still value in you. Okay, you may not be, as a man, you may not be using a Range Rover, but don't look down on yourself. Don't be too weak because you don't have a material thing. Be confident in yourself. That's the first point. That's what I want you to know. If we are able to do this, we will cut down a little bit of this kind of abuse that is going on. People must have value in themselves. I know who I am. The Bible says that nobody can compare, and there is nothing in this world that can be valued to the value of a soul. That's who you are. It's unfortunate that we have lifted money to a point that men feel that money is higher than them. So if a man does not have money, he feels so inferior of himself that anything can happen. There are men who cannot propose to certain ladies all because they don't have certain material things. The only reason why he has not been able to propose, that means his whole confidence in life. Listen, you are a failure if your whole confidence in life to approach marriage is what you have in your hands. It is the human that is going to marry, not the things the human has. You may not have it today, but you have it tomorrow. So be confident enough. Approach the sister. Tell the sister, I want to marry you. It's not my car that wants to marry you. I want to marry you. If he asks you, where is your car? You tell that the car will meet us later. Don't lose confidence because of what you don't have. When you finish and you really want to marry next year, approach the sister and say, I want to marry you next year. That feeling, that inferiority feeling, listen, you are weak. You are more weak if you think that your whole you and your value is dependent on the things you have. That means if you lose it today, you lose yourself. The real you is here. Your real wealth is here. When we take everything from your hands, what is here must be able to produce another one. That is why your focus must not be what you have here. It should be what you have here. Keep building it. Today, have you read a book? Have you seen your confidence is here? Be strong by what is inside, not by what is outside. The moment you start living your life by what is inside, sir, you will cut off certain abuses in your life that will shock you. Can't you see that people weigh you? What you know about yourself, people weigh you. There are some of us, we are too weak that we cannot even be confident about ourselves to talk about ourselves and to know who we are. We are expecting others to say something about us. Listen, from today, may you be confident. You have just 2 shirts. Come on. If you wear this today, you wash the other one. You wear it with confidence. There are many that have a lot of clothes but don't treat them well. So if you have your 2 or 3, wear it well, because life is not about the shirt you are wearing. It's about what you have inside of you. Any serious woman is not going for what you wear today. It's going for what you have inside. Unfortunately, there are many weak men that miss shallow women. What's Mike doing? You don't. I work in A4BC International Company. Where is your office? Oh, we are about to start off the office. International company without office. You are now coming to start an office. Oh, powerful. Oh, powerful. Hey, wow. So where's your car? Is your car 4x4 or 2x2? You know, there are some people who are too weak. Oh, I met a guy. He told me that he lives in cantonment. The fact that you heard cantonments is settled. But you don't know that cantonment, there are some parts that they can. The 37 boys, they have created their own city in cantonments. Till the day you take it there, that's why you know that we have cantonments and we have cantonments. Their own is contumels. Yeah, the plywood now bobokios. But me, as far as I'm concerned, a human being is not made for by whatever the person possesses, but what is inside. The reason why this generation is shallow is that there is not so much inside of us. Not so much inside of us. We are busy. Listen, we all want to impress. We all want to impress. So let me try and impress people. That's all. And we don't care about the content, the way we think, the way we do things. We don't care. So you meet a girl, you just want to impress the girl. Now didn't call pizza joint to be no one to pizza man, and one does it. No, keep building something inside to a point that even failure can come close because of what you have inside of you. We are too timid because where we build our confidence in is very little. You are a man, you have given birth to a child. Instead of you to train the child, you said, school fees coming, the fact that you can't afford your child's school fees doesn't mean you shouldn't train him. Where is your confidence? Women, there is a level of weakness you should never cross. Already you are a weaker vessel. If you become too weak too, you should know you'll be abused. Be strong. Know the telephone number of police. Let your partner know you know. There are some men, the day you stand against them, that will be the end. But you too, you are too fearful that you will lose your marriage. You are too fearful that you will lose your relationship. Because of that, the adibe you be a catcher or phone when him time me mistake me and say me worry. A man tells you this and you tell yourself me bomb pie. In a relationship you don't entertain that. After 1 week you go. Listen to me, no human being deserves to be ill-treated. No human being deserves to be treated in a way that you feel less of a woman or less of a man. Don't let us entertain it. Everybody must be respected. Even God himself told Eli that he that esteems me, I will highly esteem. And he that does not esteem, I will not esteem. So even God at a point in time has respect for men. His own creation. And the Bible says, and God had respect for the sacrifice of Abel. God himself has respect for human beings. He told Moses, he said that when you are building the altar, don't make steps on it. Otherwise, whilst you climb the altar, I see your nakedness. So even God has boundaries with men. Doesn't want to get involved and cross certain boundaries. Even God. Then there are some human beings that have been raised to believe that they can disrespect anybody at all. All because people are weak around them. The Lord tried the righteous, and the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul what? Hated. So even people that love abuse, violence, God hates them. His soul hates them. Hebrews 13 verse 3. Remember those in prison as if they were yourself. And the next thing is that remember also those being what? Mistreated. Those who are being abused, those who are being ill-treated. He said remember them as yourself. That means that even us as a church, God does not permit that we just leave alone those who are being maltreated wherever they find themselves. The church must stand for such people. If anybody is in a relationship or a marriage or anything that the person is being mistreated, the church is expected to stand for the people until such a person has been freed.